Hi, my name is John. You may also know me as DigTaka here on the channel. I do a lot of live streaming for the video games section of the channel. Also, I do a lot of post video creations like the Diecast Ninja Warrior Challenge, and I edit all those videos. But what you probably don't know, unless you actually know me personally, is the fact that I live with something called borderline personality disorder, or BPD. It's really kind of hard to talk about it, but I wanted to make this video because I'm a part of a lot of different online communities. I'm on Twitter, and I could be one way, and then I could be another way, and jump it around. And before you probably, say, hey, you're just bipolar. It's a little more than that. It's a bit weird. Part of me, as I just bring up a larger window just to let me just enlarge this to explain what right here. All right. Simply put, borderline personality disorder, hard time saying personality, is a serious mental illness that causes unstable moods, behavior, and relationships. It usually begins during adolescence or early adulthood. Most people who suffer, I don't know, it's a very active buzzworthy. I think that most people who live with BPD they live with problems regulating their emotions and thoughts. They're very impulsive and sometimes exude reckless behavior. Another breakdown of this is the causes of borderline personality disorder isn't well understood because a lot of people mistake it for bipolar, and the diagnosis is made based on a bunch of symptoms. Symptoms include emotional instability, feeling of worthlessness, insecurity, impulsivity, and impaired social relationships. Treatment includes talk therapy, in some cases medications, and at the worst, for a lot of people who live with this, hospitalization. So we're not talking about regular doctors. We're talking about like psych wards and everything. And I've been lucky. I've never had to go through that kind of stuff. It sucks, and there are certain key points that they want to hit on. One thing it's kind of serious for me is it can't be cured, but treatment may help. So what you're trying to say is I have a verbal form of herpes. I have to live with it. It's chronic. It can last for years. It can flare up, I guess, or it can be a lifelong thing. Unfortunately, I'm the latter. It requires a medical diagnosis, of course, like any kind of thing. You don't want to you don't want to call a podcast and ask somebody to diagnose you and help you get some help, and of course labs and whatever. Like all major psychiatric disorders, the etiology, I don't know what that word is, of borderline personality disorder involves both genes and environments. The genetic component, which has been underappreciated, is substantial. It is not, however, the disorder itself, which is inherited. So, what are the most common symptoms? This is how I'm going to break down. You'll probably understand that, it seems like I'm going into a lot of medical jargon when I talk about this, but this may help you if you feel more than likely maybe down. But if you recognize with a lot of these characteristics, you may or may not have this. And some people may say, oh, you're just sad, you're having a bad day. Okay, intense emotions and mood swings. Check. Harmful or impulsive behavior. Here's another thing. It's honest hour. I like to do these campfire chats, usually before live streaming, but this is kind of like a separate thing. Harmful or impulsive behaviors. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and that's very serious for me, and I take sobriety very important. And one of those things was beer and everything, and alcohol. Some people use it as a crutch. Some people use it to forget about how horrible their work week was. Relationship problems is a big part of this. And if you find that it's very hard to connect with somebody or keep a relationship, that is one of the characteristics. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose you, but I can say that I've had a lot of these problems. low self-worth, a frantic fear of being left alone or abandoned. That's absolutely honest 100%. And sometimes I feel like I can't live alone because I feel like it would be it would I don't know, exacerbate the conditions that I would have in going back to impulsive behaviors and aggressive behavior. If you guys have ever seen me playing video games, and you would see that I'm angry and I take a lot of stuff personal sometimes in the real life, in the real world. And it's something that I've actually tried to do my best to control. One thing that's really cool about Massachusetts is the fact that they legalized marijuana for medicinal and recreational use. I think that the first one may or may not be something that I could use because being a veteran and living with a certain disorder, not that it makes me, I'm eligible now, but the fact that, I want to seek alternatives to diagnosis and everything. I'm not a doctor either, but it would be nice to be able to find an alternative to pharmaceuticals, if you know what I mean. So, I don't want to, it seemed like if I'm repeating anything or reading any more about it, it would seem like I'm beating a dead horse. I would have to say that one particular thing in regards to weird behavior, I always had to remind myself constantly about the problems that I have and the problems I don't have. And I'm very fortunate for the problems I don't have. But some people may not be as lucky, and some people may live with this, and it may be very, very hard. And it feels like right now as I'm talking, it feels like I'm Onision giving you self-help advice. And it's pretty funny to hear a YouTuber try to give advice, because who the hell are they? So I'm just trying to pass on my experiences, the stuff that I live with, and try to, there's those dogs, trying to give you a glimpse of what it's like, or what a person with borderline personality disorder goes through on a day-to-day basis. It's pretty hard. I've lost my last job, and I can't seem to hold a relationship. But that's honest talk for right now. And it feels kind of good. And I hope that this video will help you understand. Not necessarily, this shouldn't characterize me as a person, even though I live with it. I'm still the funny guy that you've more or less seen on YouTube. Don't go on my Twitter. I think the Twitter is the biggest example how aggressive I can get and how happy I can get. And it's a really weird mixed bag. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did, I'm not going to ask you to like and comment, subscribe. That's up to you. I may or may not do any more of these personal videos, but I felt like I've always wanted to do a video and share this. But in regards to my privacy, I felt, and I've always said, like, why are you bringing in your privacy into a video? Well, I feel like this was very important because I did share this with one particular person. That was shared with a bunch of other people, and it was very weird, and they gave me a lot of great advice, but I felt like I wanted to clear it, because it's not necessarily about YouTube and creating stuff, because there are times where I can get unbelievably, I would have to say, I could have a horrible day, or I could just wake up, and I hate to use this keyword, and I'm not triggered, but like a paralyzing kind of like, I can't do this. And it goes from that low self-worth. And I feel like nothing I can do. And of course, yeah, this YouTube channel is not what I wanted to. No, I've always wanted to do this. But I felt that I would have been further along in YouTube at this point. I'm not complaining. It's just that's facts. I felt that the reason why I haven't been better along with the amount of time that I put in is because of the stuff I live with, because I will quit things. I will quit. I'm the kind of guy, like a friend named Turd Hat said, I'm the kind of guy who will quit social media because something pissed him off or something bothered him and I want nothing. Because I felt that If I cut things off from my life, or I stopped using social media, stopped following people, or stopped listening to their podcasts, I thought that that was the way for me to heal or get better. And it's so stupid because I've done that numerous times. But the fact that if you recognize this problem, you can work on bettering it. No, and one thing that I've never practiced that I'm just starting to do now is breathing. Because it feels like if you're having problems, it feels like a balloon is healing up. And, you know, if you want to relax, you just got to remember, breathe out. Like a little balloon. Just breathe. That's all I had to do. Just remember, like Christian Slater says in Mr. Robot, just got to keep your eyes on the road and keep driving and don't look back. That's one thing that it's stuck with me. So, all right, I've been talking about 10 minutes. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So,